Good. Hey, everybody. My name is Landon Ulbrich, CEO and founder of a company here in Charlotte called Ulbrich. We're a real estate brokerage. I'm joined by my team leader, Erica. We'll introduce ourselves in a second. But if you're on this webinar, you are in search for knowledge of a couple things. You might be a new agent looking to sell your first property. You might be a top producer looking to take their business to the next level. You may be concerned about what's going on in the industry as far as the lawsuit and commission changes. But regardless, we're glad you're here, and we created this training for you because we're a successful, growing real estate brokerage here in the area, and we want to share what we know that's allowing us and our agents to dominate the market and help them grow throughout the industry. So that's why we created this training. I'll introduce myself first. My name is Landon Ulbrich. I've been selling real estate here in the area since I was 18, and over the last six or seven roughly years, me and my team, starting with just me and growing into a team, we've been able to sell almost 600 properties here locally in the last about 6 years. And one of my passions is helping agents get to the next level and coaching them. And we're excited to share some of what we have to present today.
I'm Erica Wakefield. I'm the team leader here. And shortly after joining Ulbrich, I was able to generate a little over 10 million in volume my first year. And I just was super successful at this. So I was able to move into the team leader position so that I can coach and help agents to be as successful as Landon and I have been in this industry.
Well, we're certainly happy to have you. So our first point today, we have 5 things to present to you guys on how to dominate the industry in 2024. And this is true whether you are, again, a new agent or a top producer trying to go to the next level. And so we're going to go over those 5 things. So the first thing is whether you're a new agent trying to get to the next level or a top producer trying to figure out how to, either get to the next level or continue to do the business with all of these changes, it all starts here. Nothing happens without fighting the mental battle first. It's all about believing you can and having the right mindset to go out and get it. So I'm going to share a couple points, but believing, I think, I had a new agent in here. He's 21 years old. He's trying to sell his first couple properties. And when we started onboarding and training him, I asked, what do you think about the market? What do you think is going on out there? Is it easy or hard to sell homes? Is it a buyer's market, seller's market? What's going on? He said, well, I think interest rates are high. I think there's not a lot of opportunity out there. I think it takes a while to sell a house, and I think it's going to be an uphill battle. And I said, I think your mind's infected. I think everything going on right now with the changes and the NAR lawsuit and, basically clicks and fear. Fear sells clicks. Fear sells clicks. Fear gets attention. And what's the news saying right now? Homes aren't selling. Interest rates are high. Yeah, interest rates are high. They're higher than they were, although they recently went down a little bit. And there is a big change coming to the way we're doing business. It's already been implemented throughout the country. We're recording this, I think, on the 22nd, and the 17th is when the changes happened nationwide. Our MLS, you're probably watching this in Charlotte. Our changes happened in the beginning of August, I believe August 1st. And yeah, it's a new world out there. The way we do business is changing a little bit, but there's tons of opportunity out there. And this is what I showed him. Every 7 days in our MLS, and this was a couple of weeks ago, and I believe the number was 1,243 homes in the last 7 days went under contract. And what he came in and told me was, oh, homes aren't selling. There's not a lot of opportunity. Well, I showed him a fact that said 1,200 homes went under contract in the last 7 days. And that's true about every week. Sometimes it's more. Sometimes it's a lot more. But every 7 days, over 1,000 homes go under contract in our MLS. And between both sides of the table, the buying and the selling agent, there's about $20,000 worth of commission opportunity that's exchanging hands. Every 7 days, that's $20 million in commission opportunity that would close in the next 30 or 45 days. It's also 100% a contact business. It's a contact sport. We'll go over that a little later, but about every 100 contacts you make, which we'll go over that in a minute, you make one sale. The more people that you talk to, the higher percentage of that 20 million every week you'll have access to. You also need the right scripts, you need the right sales training. But the more people you talk to and expand into the market, it doesn't matter if interest rates are high or the NAR lawsuits going on or, anything that's potentially going on in the industry. This is true. A lot of news going on right now about bad market, realtors are going to go out of business, buyer agents aren't getting paid, but it simply isn't true. And this is the start to believing that you can and having the right mindset based on this data moving forward. That's really the first point.
So thank you, Landon, for sharing that. And you are right. There is so much opportunity out there. One of the things you need to be a successful agent is you need good people skills. You need to be able to talk to people. You need to be able to carry on human conversations. You need a lot of curiosity, because it's in that curiosity that you're going to find out what people are looking for, but really you're going to find out what their problem is, and we're in the business of solving their problem or helping them identify the solution to their problem. So real estate is a contact sport. Landon said it. If you are not connecting with people or they're not seeing you, someone else will get the business. You want to carry on those conversations every day, talking real estate all the time, whether it's in the grocery store line, whether it's in your kids' school, whether it's in wherever you are. Talking real estate is important, but you're also going to be calling leads, people that have expressed interest, and you're going to be talking real estate every day. You need to have those conversations every day. We recommend talking to 20 people every day about real estate. You have to develop that know, like, and trust factor. When you develop a relationship with someone, they know you, they feel like you know them, they like you, and they put their trust in you so that you can provide them with the most valuable service. That's know, like, trust factor. Everybody talks about it out there. We teach our agents how to carry on those conversations and to be their authentic self, but get to know those people so that they can develop that know, like, and trust factor.
Let me ask you a question. So part of this is training and part of it's natural, right?
Yes.
And the unfortunate reality about any sales career, including real estate, is you do have to have people skills. You have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right people skills. Some of it's trainable, some of it isn't. What are you seeing, before we go on to the next point, what do you see as the biggest struggle for people when it comes to their natural people skills ability? What's the biggest hurdle that keep people from connecting on a deep level with some of their customers and clients?
Yeah, sure. They just don't know where to go next in the conversation, which is why we have to do a lot of role playing and practicing, because if you don't role play and practice with people, you're going to practice on your clients, and the clients aren't going to be able to connect with you on the same level because you're not confident in your ability. I think people skills are teachable, trainable, that it's not just innate. There are some people that walk in this office, and they're just fantastic. And there's others that really stumble and struggle. And I can teach anybody how to develop their people skills. Some people just have to work harder on it than others.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do see that. And unfortunately, if you practice on the public, if you practice on your clients, they're unforgiving. If you don't connect with people and you don't role play, if you don't role play and practice beforehand, and you try to practice on your customers, you're just not going to be able to convert that customer, and you're going to miss out on some portion of that $20 million in commission that exchange hands every 7 days.
That's right. I alluded to this before, and it is so true. You need to be a problem finder and a problem solver. People get on the internet, they look for homes, and they say, oh, I want to look at a home. Oh, I love this home. Let's go. Show me the home. Go open the door. Let me in. Turn on the lights. Tell me everything there is to know about this house. But really, the public who are looking, the consumer who's looking for homes, they have a problem. Either they are tired of renting, or they live in an HOA and they don't want to anymore, or they're moving here from out of state. They have a problem. They need some housing and they need to buy a house. We need to help them identify what their problem is, and we have to come up with a solution or help them. Really, it's them identifying the solution for them. We have an agent on the team who is getting ready to list a house, and the client that he wants to help so desperately. They've developed a great, strong bond, but she's lived in her home for a really long time. She doesn't go upstairs anymore because it's too hard for her to climb stairs. But she's lived here for so long, it's really hard for her to consider moving somewhere else. And this is what I told him. I said, help her identify what her life would be like living in this new place instead of what it is like living here now. She knows it's hard to live here. She knows she can't go upstairs, so she just lives in the downstairs portion. But you have to help her see herself in this new place, because until she can see herself there, she's not going to be able to solve the problem that she has and move forward. And that has worked really well for him to be able to connect with her on a very different level so that she can move forward with listing her house.
That's awesome. Well, he's lucky to have you as a coach.
Thank you. You have to be real estate knowledgeable. This is so important. The public does not know as much as you do. However, they know a lot. There's a lot available on the internet. And when they look on the internet and you go show them a house, they say, well, they bought it for this 5 years ago. I don't want to pay that price. But there's so much more that you are knowledgeable about when it comes to real estate, and you have to show them that knowledge that you have. There are things that you're going to identify when you're walking through a house with someone, and you're going to say, do you see this crack over here? It might be of concern or it might not. Let's kind of dig into that a little bit. We're not a home inspector. You're going to recommend that they get a home inspector, but you're going to point things out to them. You're also going to say, I know you think that they only paid this for this house 5 years ago, but look at how much money they put into this house. They've upgraded these things, and that's where the value is in purchasing this home. You have to be as knowledgeable as you can be about neighborhoods and communities and areas. And in the Charlotte market, that's a tough thing to be because you are mastering a lot of area from Concord, Kannapolis, down to York County, Lancaster County. It's a broad area that we cover. So you have to really expand your knowledge so that you can present that knowledge to the people.
I agree. And the thing that I would add to that is they know whether you know what you're talking about or not.
Yes.
If you don't know what you're talking about, they will be able to sense it immediately.
Yes.
And part of it is confidence. Part of it is being able to connect with people. But if you don't know what you're talking about, they're not going to trust you because they know. They know whether you know what you're talking about or not.
That's exactly right. And you can't make it up, but you can say, you know what? That's a great question. I'm not sure about that. Let me get back to you on that. And they will develop that trust so much more when you're willing to recognize, I don't know it, but I'm going to go find it out for you.
I agree. All right. Talk about work ethic a little bit.
Yeah. Work ethic. Listen, this is not a part-time gig or a side hustle. You are going to work very, very hard. And the hard work, especially in the beginning, is absolutely worthwhile. It is going to pay off in the long run. You are going to drive the wheels off your car. You are going to call hundreds of people. You have to put the time in.
And get rejected.
And get rejected. Yeah. And be told no and be hung up on. And that's all okay. We coach to all of those things to help you, again, change your mindset. And to hear that the no might not be a permanent no, it's just a not yet, or the no might be, I don't understand, and you need to be able to identify that and clear it up for them. But it is hard work. I never knew I was going to work as hard as I would when I went into real estate. It is really both the most rewarding and the hardest job I think I've ever had in my life. But I have so enjoyed connecting with all the people that I've connected with. So just know that you got to put the time in.
Do you think you could have sold almost $11 million in real estate in 12 months doing it part-time?
There's not a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. The work is mostly lead generation and prospecting, especially when you're first getting started. If you don't come in here with a book of business, you have got to make the phone calls and call the people. And honestly, that's my favorite thing. I sort of feel like I'm pretty good on the phone, and I'm pretty good at teaching my agents to be really good on the phone as well. That's really where the secret sauce is. You've got to prospect. You've got a time block to get that prospecting in every day. I'll tell you what, we have an agent on our team that lives kind of in the outskirts of Charlotte, and she shows all over the area. She has absolutely time blocked that time to prospect, and she knows that if I can't get home by 4 p.m., because I think that's when she starts her time blocking, she pulls over into a parking lot, whips out her computer, turns on her hotspot, and she starts calling through her people that she has identified that day to prospect. Because it is a non-negotiable for her. She is not giving up on that prospecting time. And because of that, she has been able to have a very successful business. When you're busy, it's hard to prospect, but it is also important to prospect.
100%. That's how you remove the downs from the ups and downs, is prospecting when you're busy.
That's right. And I think we're probably going to get to that here
will.
in just a second.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
All right. You have the right mindset.
Yeah.
You have good people skills. All right. You have a good work ethic, but you don't prospect. What happens?
You have no business.
Yeah.
People can love you. People can know you. People can like you. People can trust you. But if you don't have business, you don't have business. You got to make the calls.
Yeah. And lead generation is the prerequisite to making people know, like, and trust you.
That is correct.
That's the engine that keeps everything going. And if you're, doing everything you can to learn the business and know contracts, which is all important, and having the right mindset and knowing there's opportunity, if you don't lead generate, it doesn't matter, because you can't share your skills with anybody if they don't know who you are. And if
That's
they're
right.
not calling them, if you're not meeting them at open houses, if you're not, picking lead sources and sticking with them, they're not going to know who you are.
That's right. It will take more effort than you think. Certainly took much more effort than I ever thought it would. There are lots of lunches packed and eating on the road, constant movement. There's maybe missing a meal. There's maybe missing some time with family while you're doing it. You can do it and be a family person, but it takes so much more effort than you ever thought it would. But again, there is payoff for it.
I think the biggest, infection of the real estate business is YouTube gurus getting on and saying, you can make $1 million in under 12 months. And, which you can, by the way.
Yeah.
There are people who make $1 million. There are people who make $10 million. There are billionaires who started real estate brokerages and scaled. And all of that is possible. There is absolutely no limit or cap to your opportunity, by far. But you can't do it part-time and be really successful. Some people sell a house every now and then, and that's okay for them.
Yeah.
But there is absolutely no way that if you don't lead generate, you're not working hard, it's a side hustle, that you're gonna have the success that the internet gurus say that you can. So
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about the 90-day cycle. So we know that there's a 90-day runway. The person I talked to today is the deal that I have in 90 days from now. Some people can get it done in 30 to 60 days, but typically we tell agents, be prepared for the 90-day cycle. The effort you do today and tomorrow is going to get you that deal in 90 days. So when you have all of those deals in your pipeline and they all go under contract, and you're working those deals and you're doing your inspections and you're doing all of that and you're working with those people, that's what you're not maybe doing. You're maybe not prospecting. And if you don't prospect during that really busy time, then in 90 days, where's the deal going to come from? So just like I said, that agent on our team that will pull over on the side of the road and prospect no matter what, you have to set your mindset and your habit to make it happen on a very regular basis. When I was my busiest and I had 9 deals in a month's time, guess what I was not doing? I was not prospecting. And then you get a little bit of a slump in there and you got to pick up the phones again.
So 90-day sales cycle basically is the 90-day cycle is basically our sales cycle for anybody who
Correct.
doesn't understand that. If you are a car salesman, your sales cycle might be 1 day.
Yeah.
Somebody walks into the dealership, they pick a car, they go through the financing and insurance, and they walk out with that car. Takes too long, honestly. I hate buying cars, but it might take 3-4 hours. But in real estate, you cannot click on a button and close on a house the same day. It's just not how it works. And beyond that, even if you know the house that you want, you can't do that. But most people don't know what they're looking for, right? We're talking representing buyers at the moment. But if you're representing a buyer and it takes time to go out and see the property. Oh, we're looking online. Okay, we see what we want to see. There's 5 of them. Let's go take a look at those. Oh, those aren't the right houses. We got to look at another 3. Oh, we found the right house. Then we got to negotiate. And it takes 90 days. And when you're prospecting to getting a client, that takes time too.
Correct.
And so that's what we refer to as the 90-day cycle. The 90-day cycle is our sales cycle, from getting the consumer to getting the consumer under contract to closing. It's about 90 days. And so when you have a conversation with somebody, just know that it's probably going to be 90 days before you see a paycheck from that particular person, and sometimes longer than that. Yeah. I'm still nurturing people from when I got in the business. This is actually a funny story, but yesterday I had a showing with somebody that I've been following up with for 7 years, almost 7 years.
Wow.
So it's a long sales cycle.
Yeah.
But also, to not discourage you, there are people who get in the business and sell their first home in 30 days.
That is correct.
So we do have a very long sales cycle, and it's about a 90-day period.
Yeah.
So the fourth thing you need to really dominate is you need to pick 5 lead sources. You need to pick 5 lead pillars that are your bread and butter. And I believe this is the next point, but if you have one lead source and you're 100% dependent on that lead source, it's not enough. You're too vulnerable on that one lead source, because if that lead source dries up, whether it's an internet lead source or whether it's, reaching out to your past clients, if you can't get a deal from that lead source, your bills still have to be paid, right? So what we recommend is picking 5 lead sources, going all in on those 5 lead sources. 10 is too many, because if every day you're trying to lead generate in 10 different pillars, you're going to be spreading yourself too thin, and you're not going to be able to learn how to dominate one lead source. Okay. Lead source diversity builds business consistency. Okay. Lead source diversity builds business consistency. If you have 5 lead sources and you're constantly hitting on all 5, you're going to I'm hitting this lead source and I get, there's a deal. If you're constantly hitting those 5 lead pillars, you're gonna get business, and you're gonna get business consistently. Here's some examples of lead sources: Zillow, Realtor.com. Those are internet lead sources. Open houses, holding open houses every weekend. My first year in the business, I did 52 open houses. Not 52. I did 100 open houses, because I did 2 every weekend for my first 12 months. Okay, 1 Saturday, 1 Sunday. We can go into some tips about that later, but open houses, that's a great lead source. Organic social media, posting on your social media, having people see that you're in the business. Paid social media, that's running a Facebook ad, running a YouTube ad. Past client nurture. And if you're new to the business, sphere nurture, right? Staying in touch with people that are around you that so that they'll send you referrals, and when they move, that they're going to do business with you. Farming your area. Pick the zip code you live in. Pick the neighborhood you live in. Send them a mailer once a week. Get all their contact information. Put them on an email list. Farming your neighborhood. Tons of great resources on how to do that. Referral portals. HomeLight, OpCity, OJO, HouseJet. Tons of referral portals like that. For sale by owners. You want to represent sellers. You're trying to be a listing agent, call for sale by owners and try to get them to list your property. Google pay-per-click. We do a lot of Google pay-per-click. We do a lot of these lead sources here. Probably do all of them, honestly. But Google pay-per-click, run an ad on Google pay-per-click, drive them to your website, grab their information and call them. If they're Googling homes for sale in Rock Hill, Fort Mill, wherever it is, there's some intent there. Might take some time to nurture them. I guess excuse me. But Google pay-per-click, that's a lead source. Expireds, calling failed listings, withdrawn, same thing. Organic website traffic, building your website. Here at Albrecht, we provide our agents a website, but providing access to that website so you can get them on your website and grab their information. Networking events. Are you going to charity events, going to balls and dances and fundraisers and all that stuff? Networking events are great. Be a part of a business networking, BNI. What's the I?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Business Networking International or something, I think.
Okay. BNI is a group where professionals refer business. You have an attorney, you have an insurance person, you have a realtor. I forget what the I stands for, so I don't remember that. But BNI groups, there's tons of them around Charlotte or wherever you're at. Billboards, buy billboards, expensive way to get business, but definitely a lead source. YouTube ads. I thought we had another slide of examples, but those are some of the lead sources. There's a ton more. But like we said before, it's contact sport, and you have to figure out your lane for where you're going to be contacting these people. I know a lot of people really successful that go to a lot of networking events. That's where they get most of their business, right? But you also want to have 4 more to support so that you're constant. If there's not a lot of, if COVID happens and you can't go to networking events, what's your other 4 lead sources? Well, if you only do networking events and you can't network anymore, what are you going to do? That's why having 5 is important. Okay. The 5th and most important thing, there are a lot of realtors still living in the 90s.
Ooh, ouch.
Ooh. This is a world full of tech.
Yeah.
People are online, people are on social media, and we have a few points where you have to meet people where they are in this new world of tech. It's funny because this isn't a new conversation, but you wouldn't believe the amount of realtors who, I don't know why I'm not doing as much business as I used to do. Well, there's a lot of changes that have happened since the way you used to get business. The first thing you need is a fully built out digital presence. If you're not everywhere and omnipresent online, you're going to lose to people who are.
That's right.
You need social media. You need fully built out websites. You need a virtual contact card so that people can save your information. If you hand out a business card, what do most people do with a business card?
They're going to throw it in the garbage.
Throw it away,
put it in their car,
or keep
wash it in the washing machine.
Yeah. But if you're online and everywhere online, that solidifies business. CRM system where prospects are housed and marketed to. Automatic lead follow-up and a lot more. But that's important. This is a fact. Over 90% of, and this is a fact from like 3 or 4 years ago, over 90%, it might be higher than 90% now. Over 90% of buyers find their home online. This is where most buyer business comes from. If you're a realtor and you're representing buyers, okay, which is contrary to popular belief, not going away with the NAR lawsuit. That's right. If you are representing buyers, chances are you met them online, kind of like dating. Sounds funny, but that's where business is coming from. And if you're a realtor and you don't have a huge network and you're trying to get business the old-fashioned way, not online, you're going to lose because 90% of buyers find their home online, and that is where the buyer representation comes from. If you cannot afford to buy this business, you absolutely should, whether it's ours or another company, join a company that provides it to you. Agents who have access to this lead pillar have an unfair advantage.
That's right.
If you remove that part of the business, most realtors will fail. If that's not a huge part of your lead source business, that will be a real struggle for you. Okay. For example, Albrecht.com. If you go to our website, allbrick.com, has our branding on it, has our agents on it. It's a search portal. We have over 11,000 monthly visitors. If you're a realtor and you're not with our company and you don't have a website and you're trying to connect with one of those 11,000 monthly visitors like we are, except they are not on your website, they're not on your personal website, or you don't have a website, that gives us an unfair advantage. Okay. Gives us access to lots of ready and active clients. Okay. Who are we? Those are the 5 points: belief system, people skills, work ethic, lead sources, right? You have to have lead sources, ideally 5, more if you can handle them and adapt to them consistently. Okay. And you have to meet people where they are in this new world technology. That's who we are. These are a couple of facts about us. We're a team-run brokerage created to help agents on their individualized path to success. Most of the things that we already went over, we take care of for our agents.
That's right.
Okay. A lot of brokerages charge a lot of fees and give you none of those things. We charge 0 fees, no onboarding fee, no ongoing monthly fee. If you do enough production, we pay your fees, your realtor fees, association fees, which will probably go up with they say it's not going up, but they're probably going up. Your MLS fees, license renewal fees. We also provide our agents with over 5 independent quality lead sources so that they have the consistency in their business. Okay. We're also a Zillow Flex partner in Charlotte. We're one of very few people who have access to people who go on Zillow.com and click, I want to see a house. We get that business. Okay. We are a Realtor.com partner. So if you're not on Zillow and you're on Realtor.com and you want to see a home, we have access to those people. Okay. Also, when you're trying to be busy and go out and sell properties, you need help. You need help with paperwork. You need help with deals that are constantly going on. You need help contacting attorneys and communicating with lenders and setting inspections. If you're going to go out and sell more homes and make more money, you need help with that. We provide a transaction coordinator to help you with that at no extra cost. Our agents are coached and mentored individually. If you want to sell 5 homes a year, or if you want to sell 100 homes a year, that's different coaching. Okay.
Mhm.
You're going to hear different stuff from us depending on if you want to sell 5 or 100. We currently do not have anybody on our team selling 100 homes, but I 100% believe it'll happen. And we have people that will definitely get there. We help our agents goal set and reverse engineer their goals to create a 90-day action plan. We talked about the 90-day cycle. We talked about getting going. We help you reverse engineer those numbers so that you can go into the office today and be like, okay, I just need to call 10 people. And if you do that every day, you'll hit your goals because we help you reverse engineer that down to commission, basically average commission that you're going to get per home sale, depending on what lead source it comes from, down to how many people you need to talk to and how you need to manage your calendar and time block. So that's a little bit about us. If you have more questions or would like to learn more, want some additional coaching, have no idea if you're newly licensed where to go in the industry or need help getting to the next level, we would love to have a conversation with you. If you go to joinallbrick.com, there's more information about our company, and you can see about our company. You can also click connect and you'll get sent to a Calendly link. If you want to schedule a Calendly link and Calendly, I know I'm saying that fast, and meet with our company, some of our leadership team with me, you can scan that QR code. I'm going to leave it up for a second, and we'd love to connect with you. Do you have anything else to add to our presentation?
I do, Landon. You had mentioned the 5 lead pillars, right? The 5 sources where you should be getting leads. And I did want to say in the beginning, we said that I had done a little bit more than 10 million in volume.
Mm-hmm.
We, as a company, provide at least 5 strong, good lead sources. All of my business came from those lead sources. I didn't have a sphere of influence. I didn't farm. I didn't door knock. I didn't post on social media. None of those things. All of my business came from company leads. And I think it's important for the people to know that that is available to them at Albrecht.
Yeah, and I agree. And there's a ton of companies out there that are marketing, go ask all your friends and family for business, right? And I don't think that's a sustainable way to go get business, because if you know 10 people or you don't have a very big family or a very big network, well, it's good for the brokerage, because if they all go sell one house and there's no cost involved, they didn't invest anything except their time in teaching them how to do that.
That's
and
right.
If they sale, great, the brokerage gets part of it. But what we do differently here is, yeah, you can go out and do that stuff. You'll even have a higher compensation package on that. But we invest in our agents to have business consistently, so they constantly have a flywheel of business that's coming in for them. And then we coach them on how to get better, how to get more efficient, and help them, get the closing across the finish line. So I appreciate you adding that, because that's a very good point. And when I was full-time in production, that's where most of my business came from too. So if you guys have questions, please go to joinalbrecht.com. You can look us up. Albrecht.com is our main website, or go ahead and scan that QR code. And we look forward to potentially having a conversation with you. And we wish you guys the best second half of 2024 and into 2025.
Excellent. Thank you.